Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Dream Truth Podcast, where we study everything possible. Zero energy, zero limits. We read, we study, and we practice. Hello. Hey, I love you too. So, we're going to start off today with Powerful Thoughts by Louise Hayes. She is on YouTube. This is her cards. Powerful Thoughts. So we're going to start out with some positivity. The title of this podcast today is going to be You Don't Know What You Have Done. You don't know what you have done. All right, what's the powerful thought? Thank you. Hello. I let go of all expectations. Wow. I should listen to a seashell. I let go of all expectations. I flow freely and lovingly with life. I love myself. I know that only good awaits me at every turn. That's good. All expectations. Just let it flow. I forgive myself. As I forgive myself, I leave behind all feelings of not being good enough, and I am free to love myself. Wow, I heard we forgive ourselves and we forgive others. One more. One more. I am balanced, masculine and feminine size. I balance my masculine and my feminine side. Y'all know we talk about balancing a lot over here. Balancing the energy. All right. The masculine and feminine parts of me are in perfect balance and harmony. I am at peace and all is well. Wow. That's good. That's good. So I almost had a runaway one. Okay, so let's turn it down just a little bit. The title of this podcast today is You Don't Know What You Have Done by just being, doing, and having your vision. You have a movement in willpower and control. You have a movement in willpower and control. Awesome. Congratulations. Respect your leadership skills. Respect you. You now have structure, rules, and authority, protection, focus, and practicality. So, I'm going to read a passage from Nevagata to kind of explain to you guys while I'm over here in my home. Hi. We studying metaphysical, occult knowledge, hidden knowledge, self. We're studying self. Thank you for the 7, because 7 is significant. Okay, so this is coming from the Never Gotta collection. If you guys haven't ever seen Never Gotta, this is the Never Gotta collection. And the title of this is At Your Command. All right, it says, man can decree a thing and have it come to pass. Man can decree a thing and have it come to pass. Most decidedly, he can. Man has always decreed that which has appeared in his world and is today decreeing that which is appearing in his world and shall continue to do so as long as man is conscious of being man. Put a 1 in the chat if I need to read that one more time. I tried to turn down the sound. So man can decree, man can discern what he wants as soon as he declares that he is man, right? So that's kind of the reference of we are spiritual beings living a human world, a being world, right? Human, but we spiritual. That's why so many people confuse about this spiritual movement, because we talked about movement. All right, but it's not anything new. It's ancient, and that's gonna help tap into kind of like past life, your past lives. Like when people think of past life, they think about in another lifetime, but they're not thinking about the ages of an infant to 3, 3 to 8. They're not thinking about those. Those are past lives, especially. It puts you in a situation where you can have a better scenario of what's going on in your life today, now, in the now. All right, it says, not one thing has ever appeared in man's world but what man decreed it should. Not one thing has happened in your life that you haven't called it, that you haven't visualized it, right? This you may deny, but try as you will, you cannot disprove it. You cannot prove that this is not true, that you didn't manifest everything that has happened in your life thus far. For this decreeing is based upon a changeless principle, right? So change, you forever changing. That's law. You do not command things to appear by the words or loud affirmations. Such vain repetition is more often than not confirmation of the opposite. So just say hypothetically we are co-creators, right? If we co-creators, we ask for a thing, and then our ancestors, angels, guides, celestial beings, whatever you call them, entities, they go and assist, right? So if you're the co-pilot, there's a pilot. There's an unseen realm. And that's what we missed. Hold on, let me move this. That's what we were missing, or that's what we were calling God, right? So, decreeing is ever done in your consciousness. Your consciousness is your mind. So, you having a conversation with your mind, if that makes sense. Okay, consciousness, the definition, the state of being aware of one's surrounding, internal thoughts, sensations, and feelings. something within oneness. So your consciousness, your mind is within. And that's what we have tapped back into, the within part. Because we missed the mark, we sinned, thinking that everything was outward. But it's inward and outward simultaneously. All right. So that is every man of conscience of being that which he has decreed himself to be. So whatever you say you want to be, just say, using me. I want to be a psychic medium. I want to be a spiritual studier, a spiritual scholar. I want to study all things, cards, books, energy, oils, celestial, esoteric, all of the hidden stuff, right? What would make me as an individual want to do that when I see nobody else around me doing that? Right? So that's your why. Why me? A lot of people have not done their numerology. A lot of people, just say hypothetically, anything with ology behind it makes your heart flutter. Like, what? New information? Anything. Mythology, astrology, anything. Psychology, anything with ology behind it that is significance to you. If you are drawn to it. That could possibly be, where is the book? In your numerology. So I had to redo some stuff with mine because I wasn't understanding what brought me here. What made me study thyself? The Bible, right? The Bible, it told you in the beginning it was dark and then there would be light. So light was spoken, right? So if you are lacking anything in life, it's because you have not spoken it. Whether it's in your regular mirror, your black mirror, over your water, I want to be a spiritual teacher. You're doing all these techniques, right? Because water has memory. That's why you see me pouring water to the ancestors. This water is not for me. I'm going to go pour this water outside. That I'm setting the intentions of libation for my ancestors, for my guides, for my spiritual team. Right? Those are techniques. Lighting a candle, burning your frankincense and myrrh, or any kind of spiritual spring forward is what I'm burning. So, for black people, African people, whatever beings you identify with, everyone has a technique that's outside of Christianity. So, this is the kicker. If Christianity is your tool, that's the tool you use. If you found other tools on your plane of existence that you want to use them, and use them with pride, and use them with joy, and use them with power. All right, so you can be whatever you decree yourself to be. The dumb man, without using words, is conscious of being dumb. That means the dumb man spoke dumb over their self. But not all the way, right? So you could have been in school and somebody, remember I told you that past life shit? You could have been in school and your teacher told you you weren't good enough. It could have been your parents that called you dumb. It could have been your brother or sister that started saying things to you that's in your Akashic records that you can't out control and delete. But you know that you have gifts and talents. So how do you use your gifts and talent? You got to decree. Oh, I like that. I don't like that. I could tap into this and see what this is. If you haven't studied it, if you haven't studied yourself, how you gonna get yourself to where you want, to the life you want to manifest, to the numbers you want to manifest? Okay. It says when you read the Bible, it in this light you will find it to be the greatest scientific book ever written. Instead of looking upon the Bible as a historical record of an ancient civilization or biography of the usual life of Jesus, see it as the great psychological drama taking place in the consciousness of man, in the state of being aware of man, in the state of being aware of self, and see what plane of existence. If it's 12 levels high, what level are you on? Because it say what? New levels, new devils. Okay, it says, claim it as your own, and you will suddenly transform. What is this transform? What is this transformer? You will transfer your world from the barren desert of Egypt to the promised lands of Canaan. So, when I think about the story of Cain and Abel, I change the name to Can and Able. I can and am able to do all things possible, but I'm not trying to hurt or unalive anyone except for my past self that was hurt, confused, unfocused, that person. The only competition that I can even conjure up that I don't want to be anymore is the old me that thought that everything was going to be created or someone was coming to save me from myself. If you understand. So, what did we miss about learning ourselves? Ooh, I didn't mean to blow. I blew my own fire out. I am sorry. To me, I feel like we missed astrology. I feel like, and maybe you can relate to this spiritual plane is an individual journey, but when you tap into astrology, it lets you know what, when, why, and who you are. And mm, it's a chariot. It's a movement. It's a progress. All right, see you later. All right, so we heard about chariots and even in the Bible we heard about chariots. You didn't know, or seraphims, or you just heard of a lot of different names, right? Because words have power. But the chariot is movement. The chariot is movement. It's your willpower. Your willing in your power. Because you got to think, when you think of will, even though we saying, okay, just say if it's a will and somebody transitioned and it was a will, they transferred over something, inheritance to someone else, right? So, in order for somebody to transfer you or will you something, something has to departure, right? So I'm gonna say you changed because the title was you don't know what you have done. You changed. You tapped into being A thee and a thy. Who's it thee? Thyself, thee self, Yahweh, Yahweh, right? So you have movement and action in this new energy. So I let go all expectations was the card that we just clarified. And now I'm in the chariot. Now I'm willing in my power, controlling my directions. I have courage to be the chariot. I have courage to drive the car. All right? I forgive myself. We have hermit falling behind the I forgive myself. Hermit is you drove into soul searching, introspections. You sought wisdom. You hermit is the hermit is the selfishness card. You got to self, because that's what we're doing, developing the self. You tapped into wisdom of yourself, seeking truth about yourself, being alone. I forgive myself means I had to be aware that I needed to forgive myself of what? People, places, and things, limited beliefs, and tap into inner guidance, meditation, right? Consciousness. Tap into your consciousness, the state of being aware. All right. And then we have Queen of Cups, right? That's that feminine energy. I balance my masculine and my feminine. So, what did it say? I balance my masculine and my feminine. The masculine and the feminine parts of me are in perfect balance and harmony. I am at peace and all is well. So, your queen, your feminine, is operating with compassion, comfort, calm energy, healing energy, emotionally stable, your intuitive energy, right? So within, as above, so below, as within, so without. Which principle is as above, so below, as within, so without? Which principle is that? In the Kabbalah. So that's giving me like the energy of is it a flat earth or a round earth? All right. So out of the 7 principles, that would be principle number 2, right? As above, so below. As below, so above. The principle embodies the truth that there is always a correspondence between the laws of phenomena of the variety of the various planes of being a life and life. The old Hermetics ran into these words as above, so below, as below, so above, and the grasping of this principle gives one the means of solving many a dark paradox, a hidden secret of nature. So that's what we was talking about earlier. If you knew this, you should be telling somebody else this. If you have these tools that can make somebody light as a feather, you should be sharing them, not keeping it to yourself. There are planes beyond our knowing, but when we apply the principles of correspondence to them, we are able to understand much that would otherwise be unknown to us. The principles of the universe, applications, and manifestation. So if you knew this hidden knowledge intentionally, if you had known this, you wouldn't be manifesting what you want. You would already be acknowledgeable and aware of what you already manifested. And you would be taking care of what you already manifested. So more abundance will come into your life. So if you don't know better, you don't do better. All right, it says the principles of this application and manifestation on the various planes of the material, the mental, and the spiritual universe. So for somebody to say, oh, I don't know what spirituality is, I ain't touching that. You the spirit. You all. It is a universal law, not a 10 commandments. Way bigger than that. Look at the bigger picture. What are you missing? The ancient Hermetics considered this principle as one of the most important mental instruments by which man was able to pray aside the obstacle. Hold on. The ancient Hermetics considered this principle as one of the most important mental instruments by which man was able to pry aside the obstacles which hid from the view the unknown. Its use even tore aside the veil of Isis. So, the veil of Isis, to the extent that a glimpse of the face of the goddess might be caught. Just as a knowledge of the principles of geometry enables man to measure distance, sun, and their movements. So we never really thought about that. Y'all can measure the sun from from Venus. What is it? Venus is 67 million miles away from the sun. But y'all can't tell us what God looked like. Okay, so, all right. Enables man to measure distance. Okay, while seated in his observatory, so a knowledge of the principles of correspondence enables man to reason intelligently from the known to the unknown. Studying the nomad, he understands the archangels. So, the veil of Isis, that's giving me like to see what is. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. It's giving me the single eye. Like everybody has their own vision. Let me see. So we have movement, soul searching, the willpower of being alone, with compassion and comfort, calm, nurturing of self, balancing of self, which Isis is the feminine. So what I did was I tapped a little bit more into the first card, Chariot, that came out again because I reshuffled, because I always do me a shuffle and then I come out and do a shuffle for the collective. So we're going to start with the day, just the date. That so many people don't tap more into the date. Today's date where I'm at is 5/26/10. 2026 equals a 1. So that would be 5 plus 2 plus 6 plus 1, which will equal 14. Because it's not a master number, you have to add them together, which equals a 5. So today alone, the number is 5. Just say 7 days a week, and each day has a number that you should be trying to figure out once you start doing your free writes, right? So today alone means freedom, adventure, and what did we say earlier? Change, curiosity. So if you're here today, this is what the energy is over here on this channel. I don't know what nobody else doing on their channel, but over here we're talking about freedom. We're talking about adventure, to use the tools that we want to use. We're talking about changing our life on a celestial, on a star system level, on a cosmic, galactic, all of those beyond, above books, right? Curiosity. So, in the chariot with this movement, it says progress, actions. So progress, the definition is forward or onward movement towards a distinction, a goal, or a more developed and improved state. Plane of existence. So I'm trying to move forward from anything I've been through in past life experiences. Not being a victim, not holding on to it. I don't live there anymore. I'm free. You see me? I'm free. And I'm being adventurous. I got my camera on. Towards a destination, towards a goal. Not only for me, but for others. So I come here for me to get used to talking in my camera. To get comfortable. You know, say somebody want to be a content creator. Somebody might want to be a teacher. A spiritual teacher, spiritual whatever. You want to call yourself, title yourself. Or you just want to be nothing. Just over here in your nothingness. But it's everything because you have the time. Because you got to think, you can't exchange time for money. You can't buy time. So just do what you can do for free until you get paid. All right, so the number 5. Today's date equals a 5. It is a highly dynamic energy. It's a highly dynamic energy that thrives on variety movement. On a variety of movements. Now, check this out. This is just a date. And learning through direct hands-on experience rather than strict rules. So, today is about freedom. But don't you think yesterday's energy came on into today when that's what they were celebrating? What were they celebrating? They were celebrating Memorial Day, which I say Memory Day. So, you learning how to move forward with your memory bank. So, we learning through direct hands-on experience rather than strict rules. So, this is why I do what I do over here with the cards. Because I needed a few more answers. It was like something was missing. But it wasn't necessarily them. It was them. It was me. I didn't want nobody calling me a sinner because the definition for that is to misfire. I did not want to misfire. I wanted to aim, right? I wanted to get straight to the point, to the target, to the circle. You know that the thing when you go on the range, you trying to hit that red dot. That right there, that's what I wanted. I wanted to hit the mark. I did not want to misfire. All right. So the core meaning and symbolism of the number 5: freedom and independence. Some of us just want to be free. Some of us just want to be free as a bird, my art. All right, so you value your autonomy above all else and resist being tied down by restrictive routines or controlling situations. So you value yourself and you in resistant mode. Like some people, you go on YouTube and say, oh, I'm 51 and I don't want to work anymore. But what are you going to do? Meanwhile, back at the ranch, if you don't already have several streams of income. Because we know if you work for yourself, you can get paid before you do the work. Versus working a job, not saying there's nothing wrong with the job. I'm just saying, until you can do better, until you can build what you're trying to build. All right, so you maybe just don't want to be, the energy is, I'm just tired of doing the same thing. I'm tired of going the same route every day, coming back. Go there, do this for this amount of hours. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this for 30 years, hypothetically. So you want to do something different. All right, so adventure. Today is a adventure day. We on a field trip, a roller coaster ride. Right? So adventure and exploration on govern is the past tense. So there's a governed or was a governed. Like you know how you go to your town and say governor, right? And each governor governs that particular area. Same thing about days of the week, but they don't tell us that. So, number 5 is governed by the past tense and the past particle of the verb govern. It means to conduct the policy, action, and affairs of a state. They go state again. Organizations or a people. So, you as an individual are taking actions, being aware of your state of mind and your state, because where your physical state at means, because each state has a different energy. Organizations, that can be you being organized, that can be people around you being organized or not organized, because it's a organizations or people. So the people, and as a whole, as a collective, you need to be with those people that are free to be, do, have whatever they want without someone's outside energy coming in distracting it. If you get what I'm saying. Okay, it says you are highly versatile. You are highly. You're not at the bottom. What that song say? Meet me at the top because the bottom is way too crowded. You at the top of your energy. You at the peak of your creativity. You pivoted. You ascended. So you trying to figure out how to adjust this energy. Now that I'm here, what do I do with it? Now that I have all this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, what do I do with it? All right. So, It says you are versatile, easily adjusting to sudden shifts in your environment or life circumstances. Today, I got two people that's been hanging out with me. They've been writing it out. They are at a sudden shift because you hear everybody saying, oh, there's a shift, there's a shift. Nobody don't tell you what's shifting. You shifting. You shifting. You change. So everything around you is going to change. You're going to start to see, what did it say? ISIS. You're going to start to see through the veil. Yo, they not like us. Whoever they is. Right? So, I want to see, I'm going to put these three cards back because these three cards were mine. Now, I have my natal chart. Anybody in here have their natal chart? Natal chart? Alright, so we're just going to see what planet we're going to see. We're going to confirm. I let go of all expectations. I forgive myself. I balance my masculine and my feminine. So we're going to turn three cards down. So we have two major hierarchies. We have the Chariot and the Hermit, which is Cancer and Virgo energy. And then we have Queen of Cups, which is water. So we got Cancer, Virgo, water. We've been pouring water. We got fire out here. We got frankincense and myrrh. All right, so we're going to do three cards. These are astrology cards. All right. These new. I just got these because my spirit kept saying, you need to learn astrology. And I bought this book. Where's that book? I bought this book I bought the cards about 2 weeks ago. But I bought this book. I'm going to show y'all the book. A couple of years ago. But I still couldn't understand. Right? So I would pick it up from time to time. But I couldn't understand. Alright. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the time. We have lunar eclipse. So I let go of all expectations. And the Chariot card, movement, progress, actions, willpower, and lunar eclipse. Let's see what the lunar eclipse has to do with I let go of all expectations and start to drive the Chariot. Excuse me. It says lunar eclipse, the illuminator. The illuminator. In a reading, the lunar eclipse occurs when the moon moves behind the earth and ends up in its shadow. It may seem strange that something in a shadow can be known as the illuminator, but that is because this event only takes place during a full moon. A lunar eclipse carries the same message as a regular full moon, but intensified truths. But intensified. So it's the same as a full moon, but it's intensified. And you know what happens when we got a full moon? It's bright. It's bright. Let there be light. You don't even need no light outside. It'd be so bright. All right. It says truths that we may not be ready to see are going to come to the light. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about hidden things coming to the light. We're not talking about new things coming to the light. We're talking about things that have a cycle. And it might be 67 million miles away, but it's going to come back around. And it's not because the wheels are forever turning. We don't know how far 67 million miles away from us are. 6, 7. All right. Okay. 6 and 6 is 12, 13. We don't know what 13 means. Do we know what 13 means? Does anybody know what 13 means? Let's just do a brief little touch up on the number 13, because a lot of people don't like the number 6 and a lot of people don't like the number 7. I'm gonna break this down to y'all. This is gonna get a little different. I have 2 name numbers because I've been married, right? My name number, one of them is 6 and one of them is 7. Anybody else in here being married? So I can kind of explain to you why, if you care, why I'm over here talking to my camera. And I can do this for you too. I can show you too. Okay. Let's see. I got Hebrew 13. My Odd 13. Friday the 13th. Feminine energy. Goddess of love. Divine Feminine Day. 13 also represents voodoo, which is a voodoo doll, which is the dollar, right? And 13 also represents the woman, the feminine, and the turtle. So if you know anything about the turtle, owl hieroglyphs represents the 13. All right. So we're gonna tap in to see what Hebrew 13 say. We're gonna channel to see what this 13 is, and then we're gonna also tap into, I'm gonna show you how I discern what I'm supposed to do, because that was the beginning to discernment, so you can understand. We can figure out what you're supposed to do with your name and your birthday. All right, let's see what Hebrews say, because I don't know. I'm not the Bible thumper that can tell you. 1832. 1832. No, is that right? Yeah, that's right. 18. 1882. All right, Hebrew 13. We're going to see what this have to do with this message. And then we're going to read 13, 6 and 7, and we're going to read astrology. All right. Hebrew 13. It said, Jesus doesn't change. Oh, I'm reading from the Message Bible, y'all. So if you have any other Bible, I don't know what to tell you, but this is the Message Bible. Okay, Hebrew 13 says Jesus doesn't change. Stay on good terms with each other, held together by love. Be ready with a meal or a bed when it's needed. Be ready with a meal or a bed when it's needed. Why some have extended hospitality to angels without ever knowing it. Regard prisoners as, hold on. Regard prisoners as if you were in prison with them. Let's see. Stay on good terms with each other, held together by love, ready with a meal or a bed when it's needed. Why some have extended hospitality to angels without even knowing it. Regard prisoners as if we were in prison with them. Look on victims of abuse as if what let me say look on victims of abuse as if what happened to them had happened to you. Honor marriage and guard the sacredness of sexual intimacy between wife and husband. God draws a firm line against casual and casual, you know what I'm saying. Don't be obsessed with getting more material things. Be relaxed with what you have. Since God assures us, I'll never let you down, never walk off and leave you, we can boldly quote, God is there, ready to help. I'm fearless no matter what. Who or what can get me? Who or what can get to me? Appreciate your leaders who gave you the word of God. Take a good look at the way they live and let their faithfulness instruct you, as well as their truthfulness. They should be a consistency. There should be a consistency that runs through us all. For Jesus doesn't change yesterday, today, tomorrow. He's always totally himself. Don't be lured away from him by the latest super speculations about him. The grace of Christ is the only good ground for life. Product names after Christ, Products named after Christ don't seem to do much for those who buy them. Hi. I don't know where we just went. Okay, it says the altar from which God gives us gifts of himself is not for exploitation by insiders who grab and loot. In the old system, the animals are killed unalived and the bodies disposed of outside the camp. The blood is then brought inside to the altar as a sacrifice for sin. We're not doing that. It's the same with Jesus. He was crucified outside the city gates. That is where he poured out the sacrificial blood that was brought to God's altar to cleanse his people. I can't, y'all know I can't do that. So let's go outside where Jesus is, where the action is, not trying to be privileged insiders, but taking our share in the abuse of Jesus. This insider world is not our home. We have our eyes peeled for the city about to come. Let's take our place outside with Jesus. No longer pouring out the sacrificial blood of animals, to pouring our sacrificial praises from lips to God in Jesus' name. Okay, now remember earlier when we read in the Kabbalah and it said the veil of Isis? That's why I said earlier, if you listen to me, I said don't get caught up on names, because the names change in different books. So intentionally. So it could be any name. But we're going to say Jesus because when they also talking about the sacrificial blood, that's kind of like walking on water. Walking on hot coals, and some people, you know what I'm saying? It's different scenarios. But just say, I would say, I don't sacrifice blood, right? But if you think scientifically, wouldn't water be represented as blood? Because you have to have water in your system to have blood, right? So you just finding other techniques to use instead of, some people, they use the blood. That's just not what I do. Put it that way. So it says, make sure you don't take things for granted and go slack in working with the common goods. Share what you have with others. Now, there we go. We sharing information in the age of information. We using our voice, our tools to share information. It don't matter as long as it's for the benefit of the good for yourself and for others. That's what matters. It don't have to look like nobody else's story. It don't have to sound like nobody else's story. But it should all fall in alignment of what we are doing in the now. Practicing the now. Okay, yeah, we know that there's a past, a present, and a future simultaneously, but I'm focusing on the now. All right? It says, God takes particular pleasure in acts of worship, a different kind of sacrifice. You can't make this up. That takes place in kitchen or workplace or on the streets. Now, it's kind of giving you that energy of let her cook. What she say, Glorilla said she started her booth in her house. She started with everything that's in the house. Everything I need is in the house for me to do my podcast. All my tools. And my tools don't look like nobody else. Everything I need is in the house. Be responsive to your leaders. Listen to their counsel. They are alert to the conditions of your lives and work under the strict supervision of God. Contribute to the joy of their leadership. Why would you want to make things harder for them? All right, so let's say, because I promise you, I can totally relate to this. You want to be a content creator, you go live, and then you have all these streams of you don't believe in this and you don't believe in that, because you, at the point in time when they come into your space and time, you might don't have no Bible on the table. You might got card. You might be holding the card up and somebody drop the chariot right in here. The first thing they gonna do, oh, you can't do this and you can't do that, like when you were 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but you're grown now. So you can literally do whatever you want to do. Whatever works for you. And using it with positivity. So, we're not making it harder for nobody. If somebody doing something on YouTube, because I'm on YouTube right now, somebody doing something on YouTube that I don't like, I just got to keep on strolling. I don't want to get in no whole blown out war with nobody because they coming in when I'm doing something that they don't understand. Because this is my page. This is my channel. What did it say? Hold on. What did it just say? Listen to their counsel. Because that's what we over here doing. With the counseling degree or therapist degree or not, this heals. Period. It's food for your heart, food for your soul. And once you get this weight of the world off your back, kind of like leave the world behind, because I don't never know who's going to be in here when I get here. I just got to show up for me. Record the content. Do the live. So thank you for not making it hard. Pray for us. We have no doubt about what we're doing or why, but it's hard going, and we need your prayers. All we care about is living well before God. That's your source. You don't have to use the word God. You can use any word that you know. It could be zero. It could be nothing. It could be Jesus. It could be ISIS. It could be I said. It could be Grandma Nana. It could be whoever you want it to be. But right now, it's Marcia. So pray that we may be together soon in energy. We are together soon because we are in our space and time doing the same thing that these people do. Whether it was 67 million years ago, whatever, we doing it. So, may God, who puts all things together, make all things whole. Zero. What did I say? Zero. May God put all things together and make all things whole. When you think of whole, you think of the letter zero. It's like an egg. It's that O, right? We made a lasting mark through the sacrifice of Jesus, the sacrifice of blood that sealed the eternal covenant. We led Jesus, our great shepherd, up and alive from the dead. All right. Doing your work and somebody in their house, and you just on your page and they stroll through and you find them, however way you find them. They could be in that chair, haven't gotten up for months. But if you have the right energy, the right frequency, the right vibration, they gonna get up. If they can't get up, if they are vegetable, they're gonna hear you. So, take what resonates. Now put you together, provide you with everything you need to please it. Not him, not her, but it. Masculine and feminine. Make us into what gives us most pleasure by means of sacrifice of Jesus, the Messiah. Now, Anybody can be a Messiah. Jesus is the Messiah in this story, but anybody who tap into the Most High Mother and Father with balance and no judgment can be a Messiah. All glory forever and always. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes is a cheat code. You can just walk around saying yes all day and your whole life will change. Your whole frequency will suddenly change. Alright, so that's lunar eclipse. Now we have Neptune, blue Neptune. So the eclipse kind of gave me silver and gold, but this is blue. No, it's not really blue. It's actually more turquoise. Let's see what Neptune say. Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus. Okay, Neptune. Neptune is the mystic. Pisces energy, house 12th, element water, symbols trident, seashells, water lilies, boats, and dolphins. Okay, so in astrology, cosmic knowledge isn't always obvious to us on a conscious level. Sometimes it is sometimes it trickles in. Cosmic knowledge isn't always obvious to us on a conscious level. Sometimes it trickles in like a little steam just under the surface. Neptune is the great mystic of astrology. The hard spiritual lessons and the psychic awareness are taught by this planet. Listen to this. The hard spiritual lessons and psychic awareness are taught by this planet, Neptune. As an outer planet, his transit and shared by a generation as an outer planet. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. As an outer planet, his traits are shared by a generation and become more personal when they make close aspects to our inner planets. The positive influence of Neptune on our psyche allows us to be receptive and open to the teachings of all the universe. I need a better light. Okay, let's do that again. The positive influence of Neptune on our psyche allows us to be receptive and open to the teachings. Did somebody come in here? Because dang, I started fumbling. Teachings of the universe, right? So that's what we're learning. Everything has a story to tell, and these lessons come in the form of dreams and inspirations. This planet asks us to go beyond the trappings of consumerism and to figure out what fulfills us spiritually. If Neptune is affecting us in a negative way, it can cause delusions, drug addictions, and trigger struggles with mental health. Taking on the knowledge of the dark side of the world and not having ways to unburden ourselves can cause us to turn into unhealthy coping mechanisms. So be strong. Be strong with this energy that's out here. Be strong because these planets are out here and you don't know nothing about them. Then you be like, why so and so unalive themselves? They didn't know. It was so much information overload. They didn't know what to do with it. So that's why I tell people, hey, come read and put it on your channel. It make it light. Because if somebody doesn't know what's going on in the energy, then they just gonna think they losing their marbles. But the whole time it be a planet out there that you don't know nothing about. Okay, so it says in a reading, now is the time to retreat into solitude and do some self-reflection. A spiritual check-in is the ultimate form of self-care, especially in a world filled with a superficial noise. This constant barrage of message that prey on our deepest insecurities can lead us down a dark path, like dark night of the soul. Like some of us already been to hell, we already been down this dark path, so it's enlightenment to read it now. Neptune can grant you the ability to tune out of all the fakery and realign with your universal truth. What calls you to women? What calls to you on the highest psychic plane? It could be divinity, it could be beauty, it could be joy, anything. It could be anything. No matter what it is, you can reconnect to it by being still. All right, it is 2:22. I am harmony. I am balance. I am new beginnings. 2:22. Hold on, I think I got a text. Can you pick up? Can you pick me up? Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Um. Okay, it says no matter what it is, you can reconnect to it by being still. All right, so this Neptune is the mystic. I said it. Okay. If you have been engaging in self-destructive behaviors, now is the time to stop. As long as you are living on this planet, you have the choice and ability to better your women. As long as you are living on this planet, you have the choice and ability to better your life. Don't let negative thoughts take that away from you. You have a purpose here, even if you have forgotten it. Remember, oh, I love it. Remember, I said we in remembrance, right? You might have forgot how good you was. You might have forgot I'm good enough. You might have forgot I'm a master manifester. All right? You might have forgotten it. Neptune is giving you the chance to come back from the brink. Take it. Come back from the brink. All right? Illusions, delusions, psychic abilities, addiction, mysticism, and spiritual needs. That was good. I tell you, I like this. Okay, so we have waxing crescent moon. And that is balance. I would say that was, but it's not. It's not like a half moon. Waxing crescent moon. Oh, I was thinking last quarter moon, but it ain't. All right, what does the waxing? Oh. Huh. All right, it says the waxing crescent moon. The moon is beginning to show herself. The moon is beginning to show herself, and beneath the surface, The roots of the seeds you planted are beginning to weave and strengthen in the soil. My hand started itching. What? My right hand started itching. Let's read that again. The moon is beginning to show herself, and beneath the surface, the roots of the seeds you planted are beginning to weave and strengthen in the soil. Growth can be broken up into two parts: obstacles, which are negative patterns from the past, and actions, which are changes made to achieve alignment. Let's read that again. Growth can be broken up into two parts: obstacles, which are negative patterns from the past, and actions, which are changes made to achieve alignment. What this means is that focusing your energy towards what you want to accomplish is a form of self care. Just resist the urge to overwater your garden, as you don't want to end up with roots rot. You don't want to end up with root rot. Seeds that you planted when nobody was not watching, moving in silence, are coming to fruition now. All right. Let me know if you want me to keep going, because I will keep going. Because I really want to tell y'all about the 6-7. So I'm going to see what Moonology has to say. We're just going to do one card from Moonology. Can I get a heart? Do you know how to use your phones? I can get a heart. Luck is on your side, and believe in the impossible. Luck is on your side, believe in the impossible. I let go of all expectations. I forgive myself, and I balance my masculine and feminine. This, I'm going to have to go back and watch. This is going to be a one for the rewatch. All right, give me one Moonology. Y'all know when they hit the floor. Woo! All right, they're going to where we need it again. Confirmation. Expect a powerful change. Expect a powerful change. How long we been out here? An hour and 20 minutes. Expect the power. This is a whole new eclipse. We had a lunar eclipse, and now we got a new moon eclipse. Keep your movement. Keep soul searching. Keep being passionate about what you do. Keep having compassion. But some people say, oh, you're too loud. You too this, you too that. No, keep being you. Keep being your authentic self. Especially if it's helping somebody. If you going out here every day and self-sabotaging yourself and others, it don't work that way. All right? So let's get a tangle card. We're going to do the one love card, see what come out. Oh, wow. That's all I keep hearing. Like, keep up the good work. You're going to lose some people, but keep up the good work. Don't worry about what others think. As long as you know that you're doing good, decent, and in order, use it too. That's what this older lady told me one time. She said, everything you need is in the house string. And that's what I stand on. I kept hearing that today. Everything you need is in the house. And that's what makes me come here. I'm not avoiding what I have, the tools that I have in my house. I use them for the benefit of my good. I pay attention to the signs, especially the red flags. You know, and we so used to being people pleasers, we don't, I always get it the first time. But you ever learn your lessons and learn that you've grown and you don't have to keep on being and doing and having what somebody else told you to do. With a clear mind and a clear heart, you got to do it for yourself. And the way you do it is like no other. But you do have to use your voice. You do have to use the tools at hand right now. That's the way I see it. Especially if you want to accept this powerful change. What's the energy? What's the energy? What's the message? But this eclipse look like a rainbow. Contemplation. Like people gonna be sketchy, unsure you. You're gonna have people playing games in your energy. Weighing out your options. Is she gonna make it? Is she gonna make it? But you are. Because you have a soul contract. You are the most high soulmate. Y'all have a partnership, a spiritual union, a karmic agreement. You already went through so much as a child, even as an adult. Adolescence, you done been through it. Some of you went through it before you even came through the womb. You was already going through your mother's emotions. Some of you, your parents was drinking and everything with you. But, hey, you changed. It's something that happened when you was a child. And you still being childish, thinking you still gotta go by that. Somebody got some insecurities. You don't think you can use your voice, but you need to get rid of the verbal conflicts. Victim mentality. I'm telling you. Stop being childish. Turn on that camera. Use your voice. Stop sitting there thinking about it. You just sitting there looking like, should I do it? Procrastination. Yes, that's your inheritance. That's your soul contract. You got an agreement that you got to use your voice. Cosmic nudges. Cosmic nudges. Intuitive hits. Soul maps. Follow the signs. I said follow the signs. Follow the signs. Follow the guidance. I know I just shuffled these cards. Follow the guidance. Faith, healing, intuitions, dreams, spiritual journey. Play with it. Your vibe is in sync. Your vibe is in sync. Your energy match. Same page. Flow together. It's another person in here. It could be the man sitting back contemplating on like, what the hell does she got going on? And she could just be playing with it. She could just be, playing with the energy. But it's you feeling it again. Teamwork. You feeling this teamwork. This masculine and feminine energy. So, what if the masculine and the feminine energy was, the sun as the more masculine and the moon, which they call her a her, right? That's the masculine feminine. the sun, and her, the moon. Mm. Working together through it all. Real connections, sparks flying, partnership again. So we have partnership twice. Let's see. Let's get what's the tea out and see what confirm this sketchy, unsure, playing games, weighing out options. Options, weighing out options. Somebody about to move though. This movement, this movement, weighing out options. You about to move. You about to make a move. I heard make that move right now, baby. What is this? Ooh, contemplation. That's too many. I got observer. Obsessive lover, unbothered, and broke ass. Put them back. Alright, so weighing out options. We got legal issues. Oh, justice. Movement and weighing out options with justice. Like, justice is you have a choice to be free. You have a choice to be free. If something got you sitting around thinking about, don't think, wait, think hard, you think long, you think wrong. Just do it. That's how you're going to get your justice. Balance. Because she got the scale in one hand and the sword in the other one. Your words need balance. Not just sitting there playing mind games with yourself. Say it. Alright, confirm your soul contract with this hermit. Soul searching, soul contract. Spiritual union. You had a fight with it. You fight your own soul purpose. You fighting with being alone. It's a feminine too. It's like I can almost, I don't want to make promises, but I can almost promise you, until you are willing to let everything go, I mean everything, you gonna feel like you in a fight. Because your soul wants you to get back in the driver's seat. It's almost like that part in Color Purple where Celie say, until you do right by me, everything you do is gonna crumble. Right? And her fingers were looking like a chicken feet. But those fingers were going down. She wasn't pointing the fingers. Well, she did have one finger up as above. But she had some fingers down. So it's almost like in your soul searching, your soul telling you, until you do right by me, everything you do is going to crumble. It's going to always be a fight. And this is on the feminine side, but it's the feminine in her masculine with her boxing gloves on. It's very childish of you to not want to cut everybody off, people, places, and things, and have some time for yourself. And don't be apologetic for it. Okay, what's this childish? Confirm this childish, this victim mindset. Truth. Shine. Shine. Not insecurities. Not verbal conflict. Not victim mentality. But shine. With the knowledge that you have. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Because this is a representation of this queen. This queen was being very childish and immature, but now it's her time to shine. Radiate with truth. Your light triggers darkness. Stay unapologetically. You did not just say unapologetically? Did I say that? I don't know. Maybe I thought I said it. You're going from a childish energy to it's my time to shine. I'm grown as hell. I done fought the good fight. I got balance with my legal issues. Myself. I'm no longer dealing with authority issues. I have the authority and the power. Confirm this cosmic nudges. Follow the signs. Intuitive hits. Confirm this cosmic nudges. I see moving salads, but I don't know. All right. Somebody in the cosmos is watching you. Somebody in the cosmos is studying you. Somebody is getting information about you. Somebody try to tap into your Akashic records. Somebody got some bad habits. Wow. Could be the person that's looking you up. The person that's looking at you. They got some bad habits. Repeating mistakes. Repeating mistakes after you getting a cosmic nudge is crazy. You know you got angels and ancestors and everybody looking at you, and they gotta watch you have bad habits. They gotta watch you keep going in the loop, not trying to even get it right. You ain't even trying to act like you trying to study thyself to show thyself approved. Even when they tell you, you are never alone. Somebody's always watching your ass. That's not the judgment that you want. That's probably why you sitting over there looking like you weighing out your options. They just trying to give you the downloads and you just not even paying attention. You ain't gonna open your mouth today. Or you just gonna look at everybody else. You ain't gonna do nothing for yourself. Use your throat chakras. I'm trying to make you light as a feather with this guidance on this spiritual journey, but you keep on wanting to stay in the dark night of soul energy. Don't want to come out the loop. Can't come out the loop if you all doped up. That's some powerful stuff too. This is the inside scoop. Your guidance is trying to give you the inside scoop. A closer look. Get nosy. Get up in your business. Get up in your angel's business. Get your magnifying glass out. Read more. Study more. Study to show thyself approved. Watch yourself. Go back and watch the beginning of this live. Vibe and sync. Because you have a cosmic nudge giving you guidance and the inside scoop of what's going on out here on this planet. Who energy you want to match? Or you want to stay on the same page? Or you want to surrender to the flow? Damn. It said you about to marry for money. Vibe and sync. Your man and this woman. Wow. Stop being childish now. Look at it. I can't make it up. You went from childish to shining, vibe and sync, and now you about to marry for the money. That's your justice. Find you somebody that's willing to work together. Somebody that want to feel again. Real connections, real affections. Sparks just flying. Get out of your ego. Know what you want, know what you don't want. Feeling it again. What's this real connection? Feeling it again. This real connection. Affections. Sparks flying. What is this? Feeling it again. This masculine and feminine. Confirm this feeling it again. Sparks flying. Real connection. Moving. Pack your boxes. Pack your boxes. Teamwork. Y'all working together for this, baby. House. What you want? Little red Corvette? You want to cross a bridge in your yard? Somebody might want a white bridge. You know how they have the little trench digged in the yard? Might want a little bridge so you could cross the bridge whenever you get ready. Paint your little red Corvette on your bridge. Put your Buddha out there. Something. All right, confirm this teamwork and love. Together through it all, partnership, we got this. You better have it. You're moving together and you getting married. And you got the money. It ain't like you about to be in poverty. What? Somebody getting some spiritual inheritance. Somebody got some paperwork. There's some delays, but it's coming. Wow. Confirm this teamwork. Teamwork love. Not just teamwork, teamwork love. Ready to be in love and work together. All right, let's see. But if this person don't get off this damn couch and see this through, we not using that one. We're going to let it come out on its own. Because, baby, I know you ain't got that far for it to be short-lived. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Give me another card. I can't even take that. Ain't gonna work, y'all. It ain't gonna work. I done seen bad karma and bankrupt. Giving the money away. Paying their bills, always asking, trying to buy love. It ain't gonna work, y'all. It's a dirty offer. Damn, sheets and wood clothing. Boy, that was about to be a pretty picture. No. Those two extra cards got us. But that's how polarity go. Mm. Damn. That was a whole thief. Boy, they looking good for you. And they talking, I can't. We're going to end it. I'm getting out of this energy. Because what? You're going to have to keep doing it by yourself. You're going to have to be your own masculine and feminine. Because this teamwork thing, it went left. It started over here with the cosmic nudges. They going to be in court. Don't do it. You might be moving, but it ain't no couples thing. Keep it going. Keep it going. Have a great day. Welcome to the Dream Truth Podcast. See you tomorrow.